Welcome to the Somatic Sleep Lab. We begin with a dedicated exploration of your internal command center, the vagus nerve, the 10th cranial nerve. This single structure is arguably the most vital component in your body's ability to transition from a state of stress to a state of profound rest. The image on your screen will now gently fade to black. This is intentional, to maximize your body's natural production of melatonin and to allow your nervous system to fully disengage. We require a field of complete visual darkness. Your only focus now is the sound of my voice and the steady, factual information designed to guide you into sleep. The name vagus is derived from the Latin word for wandering, and this is a perfect description of its path. Starting in the lower brainstem, it wanders downward through the neck, into the chest, and finally deep into the abdomen, touching the heart, the lungs, the digestive tract, and the liver. It is the longest nerve in your body, an information highway dedicated to feedback, sending signals from the organs of your body to your brain, informing it of your internal state, your safety, your need for rest. To truly understand how this system works, we must briefly consider the direction of travel. The vagus nerve is unique in that it is primarily an afferent pathway. Afferent signals travel to the brain. Efferent signals travel from the brain. Think of it this way. Approximately 80% of the fibers in the vagus nerve are running upward, carrying vital data from your internal organs to your brain. Your stomach tells your brain it is full. Your heart tells your brain its current rhythm. This data is used by your brain to assess your overall environment, to determine, moment to moment, if you are truly safe or if you need to mobilize for threat. The remaining 20% of the fibers, the efferent fibers, are the instructions, the messages running downward from brain to body. This smaller highway is the one we consciously influence when we breathe slowly, and this is where deep rest is found. Now, let us examine the nerve's direct interaction with your heartbeat. When the vagus nerve is active, it applies a constant, gentle pressure to the heart, a mechanism scientists call the vagal brake. When you are awake and stressed, the sympathetic system presses the accelerator. Your heart rate increases, but when you lie down to rest, the vagal brake is fully released. This release of the vagal brake is the biological marker of true relaxation. It is measured by a metric known as heart rate variability, or HRV. HRV is the fluctuation in time between successive heartbeats. When you are stressed, the time between beats is highly regular, predictable. But when you are fully relaxed, when the vagal brake is fully disengaged, the time between beats becomes highly varied, highly flexible. A high heart rate variability is a key indicator of autonomic health, of true deep rest, a sign that your body is adapting and prepared to recover. The vagal brake is directly tied to your respiration, specifically your exhalation. As you inhale, your heart rate slightly accelerates, This is a necessary physiological response, but as you exhale slowly, deeply, the vagus nerve is immediately stimulated, causing your heart rate to gently decelerate. This subtle change, the moment-to-moment fluctuation known as respiratory sinus arrhythmia, is the simple, silent rhythm of rest. Your job now is simply to allow your exhalation to lengthen without forcing it, to allow the gentle stimulation of the vagus nerve to communicate safety to your brain, telling it that the threat is over, the work is done, and the process of repair can begin. The body is now shifting from a state of vigilance to a state of voluntary surrender. We shift our focus now to the relationship between the vagus nerve and the abdominal cavity, where the largest portion of the nerve resides. This connection forms the physical reality of the gut-brain axis. In scientific terms, this is often called the enteric nervous system, a vast complex network of neurons lining your entire digestive tract. So vast, in fact, that it is sometimes referred to as your second brain. It does not think in the conscious cognitive way that your skull brain does, but it manages an astonishing range of autonomic functions. The vagus nerve acts as the essential communicator between these two brains, relaying messages about nutrient levels, hormones, and inflammation. Consider a key neurotransmitter like serotonin, the molecule often associated with feelings of well-being. Remarkably, approximately 90% of the body's serotonin is produced and stored in the gut. The vagus nerve is the communication line, the one that informs your skull brain about this vast reservoir of calm chemicals and the status of its production. When the vagus nerve is poorly regulated, if the signal is weak, the brain can misread the signals from the gut, leading to feelings of vague unrest or anxiety that sabotage deep rest. By simply lying still and allowing the body's internal systems to stabilize, we are sending a clear, calm message up the afferent pathway of the vagus nerve, telling the brain that the gut is stable, the system is secure, and sleep is permitted. We now move to a theoretical framework that elegantly organizes the nervous system's response to safety and threat. Polyvagal theory, developed by Dr. Stephen Porges. Polyvagal simply means many vagus nerves, as the theory proposes that the vagus nerve has evolved into two distinct branches, each responding differently to the world around us. This theory describes a hierarchy of safety, three sequential states of the autonomic nervous system. The first state, the highest and most evolutionarily recent, is the ventral vagal complex. This is the social engagement system, the state of feeling safe enough to connect, to rest, and to repair. This is the state we are cultivating tonight, characterized by slow heart rate, deep digestion, and calm breathing. The second state is the sympathetic nervous system, the familiar fight or flight response, activated when a threat is identified. The body mobilizes for action. Heart rate accelerates. Digestion slows. The third state, most ancient and extreme, is the dorsal vagal complex. This is the freeze or collapse response, activated only when all other options have failed. When you lie here, cultivating stillness, you are consciously offering your body and brain proof of safety. Your quiet breath and relaxed muscles send the signal that the immediate threat is gone, allowing your nervous system to fully inhabit the highest state, the ventral vagal complex. Allow the awareness of this shift, this scientific certainty of safety, to deepen your surrender into the restorative stillness of deep sleep. You have given your body the knowledge of safety,